Bag of bones been out all night. Little bag of bones been out all night. Can you hear 'em scratching at the screen door? Can you hear 'em scratching at the screen door? Little bag of bones been out all night. He needs some petting and loving on his head. He needs some petting and loving on his rain-soaked hide. He's circling around my ankle. He's circling around my ankle. He needs some petting and loving on his hide. Hey, kitty, won't you come inside? Kitty, have a foot and I wanna touch it. Kitty, have a foot and I wanna touch it. Kitty, have a foot and I wanna touch it. Kitty, have a foot and I wanna touch it. Kitty, have a foot and I wanna touch it. Kitty, have a foot and I wanna touch it. Kitty, have a foot and I wanna touch it. Kitty, have a foot and I want to touch it. Meow, 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 meow. A pussy purring and looking so satisfied. A pussy purring and looking so satisfied. I'm lost in his little yellow round eye. Lost in his little yellow round eye. Pussy purring and looking so satisfied. Kitty rap and scratch me through my jeans. Kitty rap and scratch me through my jeans. You kitty, yo, gonna spend the night. You kitty, yo, gonna spend the night. You kitty, yo, gonna spend the night outside. Kitty, have my foot and I wanna touch it. Kitty, have my foot and I wanna touch it. Kitty, have my foot and I wanna touch it. Kitty, have my foot and I wanna touch it. Kitty, have my foot and I wanna touch it. Kitty, have my foot and I wanna touch it. Kitty, have my foot and I wanna touch it. Kitty, have my foot and I want to touch it. Touch it. I wanna 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 touch it. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, touch it. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, touch it. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, touch it. Get it in my foot and I want to touch it.
Oh, welcome all you criminals, brains, and princesses alike. Welcome to detention. I just wanted to have a little fun today. And, you know, I work in my present job, I work for nonprofits. And one of the charities that I work for is the ASPCA. I don't work directly for the ASPCA, so if any of you calls up the ASPCA and says something mean about me, they're not going to know who the fuck you're talking about. So don't waste your time. But anyway, one of the companies or charities that I get donations for and do other things for is the ASPCA. And I talk to people every day about animals and, you know, animal cruelty and, you know, all that stuff. And animal cruelty, like, I don't know. I have 2 rescue cats and they are my freaking heart. And I, honest to God, cannot fathom anybody mistreating animals. To me, that's like mistreating an animal is like mistreating a baby. But I have recently been down some animal rabbit holes, I guess you could say. And I'm finding the most fascinating shit. Thank you, Rebel Rose Jade. Yes, it is. Like, I love doing it, Aurora. I really do. And it's the stories I hear every day. You know, I'm always hearing stories about how people got their pets and how they came to be and with them. And like, I love hearing these stories of adoption and rescues. And I love hearing the stories of the things the ASPCA does. And, you know, I have like one of those cute little ASPCA stuffed animals is one of the perks I got. I got one for free and it's so fucking cute. But I also got an ASPCA calendar, and I'm pulling it up now. I thought you guys might be interested in seeing Miss February. You might recognize her. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'm just going to let you all guess. So I'm going to, bear with me here just a second. I'm going to share this with you because you should all recognize the ASPCA's Miss February. Let's see. There she is. Okay, one second. I'm sharing it with you. Oh, where are you? There you are. Okay. Let's see. I'll make this full screen so you can get it. There she is. There she is. That's the ASPCA's Miss February, and I recognized her right away. Some of you may not recognize her. Like I said, we're not going to name any names. I just thought y'all might like to see her. Okay. Anyway, I went down an animal rabbit hole, and among other things, I found, well, I've actually, I didn't do it just for this video. I found some of these a long time ago, but the talking cats and dogs, do any of you all know what I'm talking about? The animals that use the talk buttons? Oh my gosh, I am so freaking obsessed with these cats and dogs that have learned to use talk buttons to I'm not saying any names, Bill. I'm just saying we probably know them. It's Aurora. Oh, your dog was abandoned on the side of the road. She was taken in. Oh, sometime before the end of the live, if anybody wants to come up on panel and talk about their adoption stories, I'd love to hear them. I always do open panel at some point before I stop. So I will invite you all up. At any rate, I went down this rabbit hole and I found all these videos about these talking cats and talking dogs and this new shelter thing. Oh my God. I don't know if any of you all have heard of this. I may just be late to finding out, but there's this new shelter concept where they have these events and they have the people interact. I guess they have them interact with the dogs and cats for a while and, you know, see how they get along with them. And then what they do, I just love this concept. They have the people, I'm guessing this is how it goes. They have the people who are interested in the animal that they're bringing out, like all sit in this room in chairs, I guess, and they're not allowed to like call to the dog or cat, and they're not allowed to try and get their attention. They have to sit there and be quiet, and they let the cat or dog pick which human they want to be with. Isn't that cool? It's the sweetest freaking thing I've ever seen. And I found some videos to share with you guys a little later. One of them I watched made me ugly cry, and oh my gosh, it was just so sweet. But I found one to share with y'all for the cats and one to share with y'all for the dogs. The talking cats, there's one, her name is Flounder, and she actually even wrote a book that I guess she used her talk buttons, and she has an animal that she came to her owners with, like a toy, and they call it Mouse Toy. And I kid you not, she treats this mouse toy like a little girl treats a baby doll. And she treats Mouse Toy like he's real. She feeds Mouse Toy. She doesn't eat Mouse Toy's food. Mouse Toy has to have his own food. And she puts him up like on his little, he has a little chair that, well, the cat has a little chair that she sits in and watches Pocahontas. Pocahontas is her favorite movie. And she has a little chair for Mouse Toy, and she'll put Mouse Toy up in his little chair, and they watch Pocahontas together. And she's got a toy piano that she plays with, and she'll put Mouse Toy up there and try to teach him how to play piano. And when Mouse Toy wants something now, they put Mouse Toy in a hamster ball because Mouse Toy is kind of fragile now as he's old, and she's had him ever since she was a kitten. And she will roll, like when Mouse Toy is talking, she will roll Mouse Toy over the buttons. I mean, I've never ever, it blows my mind that an animal can think that deeply and have that kind of imagination where they're actually playing pretend and have imaginary friends. I mean, did you guys ever think that such a thing was possible? And there's freckles. BKF, yeah, there's a story behind that. I don't know if we'll get to that tonight, but there's a story behind the BKF, but you might have figured it out if you looked at the title of my live. But yes, I say this all the time, Aurora, we don't deserve animals, and I always say that they're better people than we are. And I bet somebody says that to me at least once a day in association with it. And it's amazing. There's a lady who has a dog. It's a standard size poodle, and the dog's name is Bunny. And Bunny's kind of famous too, so you may have heard of that one as well. Bunny has existential issues, and she'll like ask her mom, like, why am I a dog? And why are you a human? And I mean, who would have ever thought? And like, she'll wake up and she'll tell her mom about her dreams. But the saddest thing is the the saddest thing is that Flounder, the kitty I was talking about, she had a brother. His name was Fiki, and Fiki passed away. And she will actually tell her human that she wants to remember Fiki, and they'll show her videos and stuff. And like the day after Fiki passed, she told her mom that she wanted, it was something like, she said Fiki's name, and it was something like, remember happy yesterday. Like I remembered and I want to be happy like we were yesterday. Oh, it makes me want to cry now just thinking about it. It's so sad. But I mean, it amazes me. Like, I mean, people try to tell you that animals don't have feelings like we do, and, they don't think that deep. But, dude, like, I know people who don't think nearly as deep as this little freaking kitty cat does, and came around the corner. She was big. Oh. But, yeah, and there are several. There's another talking cat I found him on Facebook. His name is Russell, and he came from a family of hoarders. And his new humans now, like, he's kind of traumatized from living with the hoarders. And I guess his previous owners would let their laundry, like, this is just one of the things they would do. But he'll tell them, like, if there's a mess or something, like, it freaks him out because after living with hoarders and big nasty messes all the time and stuff like that. And they would do laundry and let the wet laundry sit in the washer until it would start to mold and stink and get nasty. And this cat is so traumatized from living with these hoarders that when his new people do laundry, if they let it sit for very long in the washer, he'll remind them, smell laundry closet. I mean, they don't leave it in there long enough to smell, but he worries that it'll start to smell, and he'll remind them and bug them about it until they get it out of the washer and put it in the dryer for him. And yes, pure spirits. I'll tell you, I always say it, like, animals are like our pets are the children who never grow up. and they have the purest souls. Like, it's the purest kind of most undemanding form of love a person can ever experience. And, it's my personal opinion, my personal belief that it is our duty on this earth as bigger and stronger beings to take care of them, since they can't take care of themselves. And that's one of the ASPCA's things too. We are their voice. And of course, if anybody wants any references on how to donate to the ASPCA or how to volunteer or anything, I've got a bunch of references in my description. So be sure to check that out. And if you got a little extra money laying around, give some to the ASPCA. They always need money. And while you're doing that, go and check out the like button and tell her to remember to make pet adoption her first option. Let's see. Can they take it? Yes, they do take on our emotions. My little girl kitty, who right now is in my lap, as a matter of fact, and she's pouting because she's not getting the attention she's used to. But my little girl kitty, we joke all the time. If you've ever seen the movie Mean Girls, there's that character, when they go, she doesn't even go here. And she says, no, I don't go to the school, but I have a lot of emotions. We always say that that's my cat because she has so many emotions that she wears them on her sleeve. And I'll tell you what, I wish that we had talk buttons when I had gotten her. She's 13 now, so I think she's probably too old to try to teach how to do something like that now. But if we had, or if I'd known about talk buttons when we had first gotten her, I think she would have picked that up right away, because she did things like she would invent her own little games. She would go over into this corner and sit like a person sits, with her butt on the ground and her front paws up in the air. And she would wait for somebody to notice her. And she had this little ball that was made to roll crooked on purpose. And if you brought only that ball, it had to be that particular ball. But if you brought that ball to her and rolled it to her, she would roll it back and forth, through her legs, just like little kids do. And she would sit there and roll that ball back and forth with you for hours, it would seem like. And she also invented a kind of hide and seek type game. And what had happened was my partner had brought the hologram, some of you know him as, had gotten a smart TV. It was our first smart TV. And when he first got it, it was too big to fit in our entertainment center. So we had it sitting in the box in the floor for a few days. And it was leaning up against the wall. And she would go and hide behind that box. And she would wait for one of us to realize she was gone and ask, where's Olive? Where's Olive? And then she'd poke her head out the other side and like make this little meep sound. And you go, wait, there she is. And then she'd run to the other side of the box and wait for you to go, where's Olive? Where's Olive? And then she'd stick her head out and go, meep. And she would do that over and over and over again. Like, it was just like a little kid playing peekaboo or hide and seek. It's the cutest fucking thing. And yeah, like I said, it just amazes me how smart animals can be. And I actually have a video. I'm looking for it here. I think it's on this channel. It might be on my old channel, but it's a video of her asking for treats. She has this really cute way she freaking does it. And I'll show it to you all, and then I'll get some of the videos out if you want to see them of some of the shelters that I was talking about, where the animals pick their new humans out. And let's see. Oh, I've got some pictures of her. She used to cuddle with her toys too, like they were kittens. I think I've got some videos of those too. So let's see. Bear with me a moment. I'm looking for it. Oh, I think it is on my original channel. Let's see. Oh, no, I found it. Okay. Okay, just a second. Just a second. And while I'm doing this, I can't see the chat either, so don't think I'm ignoring anybody. As Mike Myers used to say, talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, I'm not very good at imitating voices. Let's see. There we go. Okay. It's not that one. I hate it. Somehow I have managed to make my bar auto hide, and I hate that. It annoys the piss out of me, and I can't seem to figure out how to make it stop doing that. I have a Chromebook, and it does not work like my Windows laptop used to work, and it drives me absolutely apeshit. Okay, I found it. Okay, hang on here. I must share it with you. Oh, I guess I ought to hide your comment, Aurora. Okay, let's see. I don't have babies yet. I have my pets, so they are all spoiled as they should be. You know, I always said I never had kids. I can't have them, but my pets have definitely been my substitute for kids. And it's funny because my partner used to not only make fun of people who treated their pets like they were babies, but he was actually like used to be kind of disgusted by it. And then we adopted this ginger boy, and I actually kind of went behind his back and adopted him because he didn't want to adopt a cat. And after that, it was like, you know, all of a sudden he was like, that's our kid, you know. It's funny how somebody's attitude towards animals changes once they love one for the first time. It's just it's cool the way attitudes get changed. Okay, I'm gonna play this for you. All right, this is my girl. Her name is Olive Grace, and she wants a treat. What is it, girl? What do you want? It's not time for you to eat yet. It's not time. It's hard to tell by watching, but she has these big, giant, like Cupid doll eyes. Time. It's not time, baby. You got a couple more hours left to go, okay? Okay? You got a couple hours left to go. No, it's not time yet. It's not time yet. No, it's not time yet. But I love you. And that's what she still does that. Anytime she wants a treat or she wants to be fed some wet food, she'll come over and tap my feet. Or if she wants attention, like I read somewhere that if you blink your eyes slow at your cat, that that's the way of saying I love you to them. And so every time she blinks at me, I started saying I love you too and blinking back at her. And so now whenever she wants to be super charming, she'll come up to me and blink at me very deliberately, blink twice. And, you know, I'll blink back at her and say, I love you. And she'll do it again. And then she'll ask me for a treat. So she's very good at manipulating mama. Oh, you adopted a ginger too. You know, and there's a saying about gingers now that people say were supposedly, you know, they're stupid and they share one brain cell. No, spam chat all you want. That's fine. I love it when people talk back. We don't have very many people on. I thought I was going to have some guests, but they must have forgot. But I was supposed to do this last week and I wasn't feeling very good. So they may have thought it wasn't coming either. The trend where you play Egyptian music to their cats. And no, I haven't. I'm sure I can probably find us a video though. Let's see. Let's see here. Is there a name for it? Or just Egyptian music? Like, is there a name for the trend? Let's see. Yes, girl, that's you. Playing. Oh, shoot. Hang on a second. Okay, play Egyptian music for cat. Okay, let's see. Since my girl is a queen, let's see. Oh, Egyptian spirits music calling my cat. Okay, hold on. Hold on a second. Well, let me share this page. You can help me pick one. Egyptian cat trend. Okay, let's see. Here's some. Which one should we do? Let's do that one in the middle, that orange and black one. Let's do that one. It looks like a Halloween kitty. Actually, that looks like a Bengal. Play this sound to your cat, and it will remind you of when they were worshipped in Egypt. Okay, let's see.
Apparently, if you play this sound, it reminds cats of when they were worshipped in Egypt. He's like, my other cat was summoned. Apparently, if you play this sound...
Huh. Well, my cat just sat here and looked at it like she wasn't very impressed. Let's see if we can try another one. Let's see. Let's try this one. You know what I'm going to say that reaction reminds me of? I used to call that the bunny cat. And what I think is the pitch and the sound is probably alarming to them, or I'm sure there probably are better ones. Let's see. Are there any on that list that you know? Maybe we should look for the bigger ones. Let's see. Because I was just looking at shorts. Oh, there was one, the dog that I was telling you about, Bunny. Oh my gosh, there was one where his mom was crying. And let's see, sound makes my cats remember they were worshipped in Egypt. Okay, here's a short one. Let's check this one out.
O som que faz os gatos lembrarem que eram deuses no
Let's try this one here. I'm not finding any really good reactions. Don't tell me that they are upsetting me. To me, it kind of looks like an alert stance that we're seeing there, like they're concerned, or Like maybe the tone might kind of like there's a certain tone that cats are sensitive to, and like high pitches can kind of cause them pain and things like that. So I don't know, maybe that's not it, but like loud sounds are sensitive to. Like cats are kind of in a way neurodivergent, I think. So that might be what's going on in those that we're seeing. If you have a recommendation, like a name or a link for a better one, let me know. And like I can rent you so you can drop a link in if you have one you want to share. Let's see. I wanted to show you this one with the puppy, the talking dog. It's so cute. His mom is crying and he's trying to make her feel better. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Oh, here's some of the Why Am I Dog ones. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh. All right, I'm just about to pick one because I can't find the one I want to show you guys. So if I don't find it here in a second, I'll just... And this lady, she actually participates in like studies, I think, with communication specialists, and like she's always referring to them. So I think that she was part of like research. What the hell? Okay, that's weird. All right, I'm sorry. I'm having my computer's doing weird shit. Let's see. I want to show you guys these talk buttons in action. I'm obsessed with them, and I just want to find a really good one. Okay, let's see. Let's try this one. Figuring out what her definition of family is. Let's see. All right, let's try this one here. I think this dog is the cutest fucking thing. She has the cutest markings. Look at her.
Yes.
Yep.
Mom family, dad family, bunny family, we family.
No, that's not.
Yes.
Yep.
Mom family, dad family, bunny family, we family.
Okay, that's not a very good one. Shoot. Let's see. This is the dog that has the existential crises. Oh, here's one. Let's see.
Dog, why? I don't know how to answer that. Because bunny dog. Dog why?
Well, I guess that doesn't really show too much. Let's see if I can find maybe a compilation. I really wanted to find the one where she was crying. Let's see. And the channel is called What About Bunny, by the way, if anybody wants to check it out. This is it. Let's take a look at the shorts. Bear with me here. I'm looking for the one. Oh, this lady here, her name is Mary Robinette, and she has a cat named Elsie that talks. And her cat Elsie, when she gets upset, instead of swearing, she says litter box. It's so cute. Let's see. Oh. Oh, let's see. I think the title of it was something like Vulnerable Post. Okay, I'm not going to make you sit here and wait while I look for much longer, I promise. I just really wanted to show it to y'all. And yes, I do know I should have had this ready, but I'm not very good at preparing in advance for my live streams at all. Let's see. We'll try. What about Bunny? Vulnerable. What the fudge? Oh, okay. Post. Okay, let's try that. No? Huh. Okay. Well, we'll just pick one and then I will. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's do some of the, do you all want to see some of the shelter ones, or do you want to see some of the ones, some of the talking pets videos? Like, what's more interesting to you? The dreaming one? Okay. Yeah, the dreaming one is a cool one. Okay, let me find it. I know it's a short, and I didn't see it when you did, so bear with me because I know I've seen that one and I know it was a good one. Let's see. Did it have a picture of her, or did it have a picture of the dog on it? Do you know? Because these are just her talking, I'm pretty sure, but we'll check and see. Oh, maybe not. Okay, let's see. There was one where she actually did wake up and tell them about her dream, and it was cool. Is that the one?
What talk sleep? What talk sleep? Yeah. What talk sleep? Are you okay, Papa? Are you having a nightmare?
Oh, she's stretchable. Well, that doesn't surprise
When
me.
sleep, what talk, Bunny? Stranger animal? Were you dreaming about a stranger animal?
So crazy. So just for a little bit of context, Bunny had been using the combination of buttons, night talk, sleep, night talk,
Okay, I'll see if I
repeatedly
can
for
find
several
the
weeks,
word.
and I had no idea what it meant.
Bunny
Naturally, I assumed I was talking in my sleep, but my partner told me that I hadn't been, and he hadn't been. I told the researchers what had been going on, and one of them suggested that maybe it meant dream, and that next time she was having a dream, I could gently wake her and ask her what talk sleep. So that's exactly what you're seeing here. And the fact that she went over to the board and out of 100 buttons chose the words strange.
You can't really speed up shorts, can you? Okay, I guess you can't. Well, that kind of sucks. All right, let me see if I can find it.
Favorite things about this tool is that it gives us the ability to explore a lot of things that we don't know and see where.
Okay. Let's see. I'm terrible at this, guys. Terrible at this because I can't find the fucking thing. I should have been more prepared. Let's see. I really wanted to show you the one. I'll just have to tell you about it because I can't find it. But the mom was crying, and like she was crying hard. And I guess she was upset about the state of the world or something. And Bunny walked over to her buttons and was saying, "Ugh, all done," or "Ugh, big ugh," and she was like, "Yes, it is big ugh." And I guess she's trying to make her feel better, so she was saying, "Ugh, all done," and she was like, "No, I'm still upset," or whatever. And the dog, I shit you not, with her button said, "Come, medicine," barked twice, and the other two dogs in the house came running up immediately, and they all went over to her and started loving on her. I kid you not. So it was like, I swear, I think the dog was telling the other dogs to come and like saying medicine as in like, we're going to make her feel better. And it was just the cutest fucking thing, the way she called the other dogs and they all sprang into action like that. Man, how is it? And do you know how many times I have watched these freaking videos and I can't find anything now? It's ridiculous. Let's look at her playlist. Maybe that'll help. How to build a button board, story time, how to teach, compilations, YouTube Shorts exclusives, new puppy otter, shorts. This is just terrible. Bunny talks with her buttons, more existentialism. Maybe I'd have an easier time with YouTube Reels, as that's where I usually go. Let's see. Everything's okay. I'm patient queen. Here's one to watch while I'm waiting. How's that? Oh, I'm a loser. Okay, let's see.
Okay, what do you want to talk about, honey? What talks, sweet girl?
Talk, stranger.
Yeah, I did talk stranger before. A man came out here to help fix the generator. Stranger did come help mom.
Talk, mom.
Talk, mom. Talk, mom. That's right, honey.
When what? When downstairs? Soon. Soon, Bubba. Soon. Soon, Bubba. Soon. Soon.
There was another one I saw where she said that she wanted to, I guess they have a house at the beach and a house that's like on near a park or something. And she was telling her mom that she wanted to go to their other house. And when she asked her why, she said something like basically that she missed the cat. She said something about her friend Cat. Yeah, some of these videos are old. I know. I wasn't going to talk about her today, but fuck it. Like, I can't believe she struck you. It's such bullshit. I'm sorry that happened, but sometimes. Oh, she struck a 3-year-old video. I thought you were for a second. I thought you were talking about the videos I was watching. That girl, she's got the worst. Like, it was of course it was unlisted. She had it bookmarked. And she was waiting. When she struck my channel and had it taken down, some of the videos I had that she struck were unlisted at the time as well. And that's the kind of stuff she does. And it's always spiteful like that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I don't get some strikes coming up here soon because I had the nerve to talk about her once or twice. But let's think about this for a second, because this girl tries to come off like she's so freaking intelligent. And I swear I'm not going to spend much time talking about her because I do want to have fun. And I think one of the reasons why she comes out and starts yelling at people and why she probably struck Bill, like, she doesn't know how to make content. The only thing she knows how to do is hate. And so whenever the interest in her stops dying down and people stop talking about her, she will either do something mean to somebody or start screaming at somebody who has nothing to do with her in the hopes that she will become the center of attention once again. But this is all I have to say about it, really, okay? And you just have to think twice about somebody who has this kind of intellect. All right, check this out. Now, I'm going to share this with you. All right, this is her channel. This is her channel description. I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to try and make it bigger. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so her channel description. What does the channel or the channel name nonchalantly just mean? Let's start with the word determinacy. Determinacy is the quality of being uncertain, vague, or not precisely fixed, leaving room for multiple interpretations or outcomes in your life or certain situations in your life. Now, all right, first of all, let's talk about the hideous punctuation. I've heard her say before that she is like English is her expertise. And if English is her main forte, then I'd hate to see the shit she's bad at. First of all, determinacy is the quality of being uncertain, vague, or not precisely fixed, leaving room for multiple interpretations or outcomes, period. And then in your life or certain situations in your life, period. Most people, including myself over the years, period, have lacked a sense of humor for things or situations, period. I learned that you do not get issued a sense of humor until you have discovered a sense of empathy. What a journey that has been, and a journey that I continue on every day, period. I also want to add that along this journey, period, I have been on, period, mockery also takes less energy, thought, and courtesy. Then truly trying to understand the human dimension, and last but not least, period, be authentic, period. My soul and my journey has been authentic, period. Authenticity is free, period. However, audacity is not, period. Audacity costs quiet a bit. All right, so number one, she didn't say what nonchalantly just means. Didn't talk about what nonchalantly just means at all. All she did was talk about the word determinacy. And as she says, determinacy is the quality of being uncertain, vague, or not precisely fixed. Remember that. Just remember that. We're going to look up the word determinacy, because I already knew what determinacy meant. All right. So we're going to skip AI because we know AI ain't always right. I mean, come on. AI is responsible for a profile picture, so we can't trust AI. We're going to go to Merriam-Webster. All right. Merriam-Webster. Determinacy. The state or quality, or the quality or state of being determinate. The state of being definitely and unequivocally characterized. Exactness. The state of being determined or necessitated. All right. So let's look up, just for gits and shiggles. Shit. Sorry, guys. I am so bad at this. All right. Let's try this again. Let's look up indeterminacy, just for gits and shiggles. Indeterminacy. The quality or state of being indeterminate. So let's look up indeterminate. Not definitely or precisely determined or fixed. So let's go back now. I'm just using my back button like a mofo, I know. Okay. Let's go back and once again read her definition for determinacy. And yes, I do understand this is petty. Nobody has to tell me that. Determinacy is the quality of being uncertain, vague, or not precisely fixed, leaving room for multiple interpretations or outcomes. So she started with the word determinacy and defined it as, let's just plug that into Google. Let's just plug her definition for determinacy into Google. For those in the back who may not have already gotten what I'm getting at here. Come on, Google. There we go. Okay. Let's plug that into Google. Okay. They're giving everything but indeterminate. Ambiguous. Ambiguity. Okay. Let's look at a synonym for indeterminate. Synonym. Indeterminate, unspecified, unfixed, unsettled, indefinite. So apparently, old girl don't even know what her own channel is about or what it means. And she defines determinacy as ambiguity, basically. And what she's really trying to define is indeterminacy, which isn't really a word, but we just made it one. Indeterminate. Yeah. So you really can't take anything somebody who doesn't even know what their own channel name means. You really can't take anything they say or do seriously. Yeah. So, Miss February, you need to do something about your channel description. So now let's count down the days and see how long it takes for her to change it. Because you know she's sitting in the back watching. So let's see. What do you think she's going to do? Do you think she's going to leave that channel description up there and let herself continue to look like an idiot? Or continue to show herself for the idiot that she is, I should say? Or do you think she's going to go in and change it? And for added gets and shiggles, how long do you think she's going to scream about it? And use my name in vain and call me ugly or raspy voiced or call me a junkie in response to me making fun of her for not knowing what her channel name means. So let's just see. I have my own theory about that too. You know, if you've noticed, with everybody that she drags, she always resorts to, she's done this to Nikki, she's done this to Tiffany, she's done this to everybody I've heard her drag, myself included. You know, you're toothless, you're a druggie, you're ugly, you're fat, blah, blah, blah. And how in the hell is she going to call anybody fat? But at any rate, you know, she's always picking on somebody for their looks, for their body, for something, the sound of their voice, something that they can't control. That's low hanging fruit, bitch. That's the kind of shit you go for when you don't got anything else. And the reason that she goes for that shit is because she's either A, talking about something she knows, somebody she knows nothing about, or B, there's nothing about that person she can really say anything bad about. So she starts picking at things that people are generally sensitive about and trying to hurt them. That's low-hanging fruit. And, you know, I generally try to stay away from that, although I guess calling her Miss February isn't really staying away from that. But, you know, it is. It's low-hanging fruit. And somebody who will resort to picking on animals, because in case you didn't know, she, a couple of years ago, was arrested for and incarcerated for 11 counts of animal cruelty and had 8 dogs, I believe, and 2 cats confiscated from her home. And she has pets now, which makes me angry that somebody who has been convicted for animal cruelty has pets now. Now, I don't know what the details are. It could be just that she had too many pets crammed into her house and wasn't taking proper care of them, but I don't care. It's our duty. When you adopt a pet, you are making a promise to that helpless animal that you will take care of them and make sure that they are not only fed and cared for and kept warm and things like that, but that they are also loved. And if you don't fulfill your duty, then fuck you. You're just a shit person, really. Anybody, if you meet somebody who A, doesn't like animals, or B, mistreats them, that is always a red flag. That is a person you don't want anything to do with in life. Yeah, 11 counts. All you have to do is Google her name to find it. But you know what? I can show you the proof of that. It's easy to find because it's fairly recent. Bear with me here a moment. I'll show you. One second. This is one of the crimes that she did that has kind of been swept under the rug a little bit, I guess you could say. It's one of the ones you don't hear many people talking about. And now, it was in the newspaper, but you have to pay for that, and I'm not spending money on her. So this is something that the radio station in their area kind of put out. But let's see. Here it is. Animal cruelty. Woman jailed on 11 counts of cruelty to animals. A 38-year-old woman was being held in the county jail on bonds totaling $7,150 Wednesday night after being arrested on 11 counts of cruelty to animals. She was charged with probation violation. Now, this is a public document, so, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doxing. She'll probably say I'm doxing her, but this is something that's public. So, it's public record. She was charged with probation violation, and Hall County spokeswoman Joy Holmes said Wednesday the case against her grew out of a visit by county animal control officers February 16th to the place where she lived. The animal control officer noticed 3 or 4 dogs on the loose, and while attempting to issue the owner of the dogs a citation at her residence, it was discovered she had active warrants out of that county. Once the sheriff's deputies arrived to assist with warrants, officers noticed poor living conditions inside the residence, and 8 dogs and 1 cat, I'm sorry, I thought it was 2, were removed from the house. Holmes added the suspect was arrested on the scene and transported to the jail, and additional charges have been filed by animal control, and the case remains under investigation. So, yeah. Oh, sorry, hold on. Sorry. Oh, shit. Got it. Hold on. I'm sorry. I just set off a bunch of, hold on a second. Y'all might not be able to hear it, but I just set off a bunch of videos. Okay, sorry. A bunch of videos opened all at once and started playing music, and I got overwhelmed. But yeah, it's definitely public record, 100%. And it used to have a copy of her mugshot there too, but I don't see that. But I mean, it's something you can find if you want to take the trouble to Google it. A sociopath, yes. Yeah, and here's another thing too. This is something else that really irked me. And everybody knows how I feel about Amy. I am never going to defend Amy, okay? So I'm not defending Amy here. But she was talking about Amy trolling a dying man named Norman, and went on and on and on at some length about it. So I heard. What she failed to mention is that she was sitting with Amy and participating in everything that Amy did to troll that man. And that includes impersonating him when she trolled other channels and accusing the man for things that he didn't do. And one of those things was something that I had an alt. It was a little troll thing. It was supposed to be good fun. It got taken the wrong way and kind of got out of hand, but we called them the Knotts, Knotts, the Knotts. And she tried to blame the Knotts on that Norman guy. And all the while, well, one of the Knotts, the main Knott, he was General Balloon Knott. And that was actually Granny Fanny. And she tried to blame that on Norman. And I actually have proof of that. Hold on, I'm looking for it. I'll show you. It's very brief. And then after that, we're going to go back to fun stuff. Just a second here. Okay. It's in my videos, bear with me. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to share it with you just a second. Now, some folks may have already seen this. It is on my channel. I've showed them before, but if you have not, here it is. Let's see.
said that name.
Okay, I'm going to play it all the way through, and if because there's audio, but if you want, we can go back over it again if you feel like we need to, so you can read the captions on it.
Said that name. Normie. Do you guys remember General Knott? Do you remember that person? Do you? Hi, 1 hour drive floors. How are you? Well, our topic is probably going to change through the night. Right now, it's just pretty much anything. Kind of reviewing some things I talked about last night, which was Missouri and our affiliation, and I say that loosely because it's really not affiliation with him. So everybody remembers General Knott. Some of you might, some of you might not. Well, I found out some very disturbing news this morning that I was not ready for. Just awful. Like, well, not awful, just really messed up, actually. Nimrod is General Knott. Yep. Go ahead. Be shocked. Because I was. See, we had never actually spoke to General Knott. It was only by text. So to find out that it was kind of like a game.
So the absolute whole grain audacity of her to sit there and say that Amy was trolling this dying man, when obviously from that video that she was doing the exact same fucking thing and doing things. And now I was one of the Knotts, so I'm not saying I was innocent. It was supposed to be an innocent thing. Like, we didn't do anything bad. It wasn't like we were doxing anything. We told dad jokes is what we did. So, but the fact that like some people took it the wrong way, and she took advantage of that and tried to, in her words, use that against a dying man and set him up to take the blame for it, is peak disgusting. And the way she's carrying on right there, knowing the whole time she's lying through her yellow teeth. Yes, and she can make fun of me for being toothless. I can make fun of her for having yellow teeth. She's lying through her yellow teeth, and should show anybody who listens to her now that you can't trust her, no matter how sincere she sounds, because she's, oh my gosh, like, I just found that out. I was so shocked. You know, the whole time she's lying out her crooked yellow teeth. So anyway, yeah. And yes, she did do way worse, Bill. You're absolutely right about that. That's just the thing that I happen to have proof of. And I don't like to talk about things that I don't have proof of or intimate knowledge of. And to be honest, like, I forget so many things they did to that man. But for a long time, they cloned his account and went around into live streams doing and saying nasty things to make it look like he was doing it. That was just, like I said, the tip of the iceberg and things. Like, they even, meaning Jessica and Amy, made clones. Well, they used, I had extra Facebook accounts that I used for gaming, only for gaming, but I had given those accounts, like, let some kids in my family who weren't allowed to have social media yet use those to play games on and like send gifts to and stuff. And I used them to send gifts to myself for some of the Facebook games I was playing. You know, that's what it was for. They use the profile pictures for those accounts and the names on those accounts to make YouTube profiles at, and would go into lives and like use those to try and upset me. And they made YouTube characters using my dad's middle name, and his side of the family is Arabic, so it was a really unusual middle name. So yeah, like they did a lot of disgusting things. And I'm sure, I have absolutely no doubt, because she's still not admitting to the stuff that she used to do, which now she may like it. Like she admits to stuff when she gets caught out, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm a different person now. Well, bullshit, because that's what she said when she came back last time. And what'd she do? She made up a whole fucking human, as just the start of the shit she did when she came back last time. And, she left in humiliation because she got caught out. And, she'll sit there and she will use my name in vain and talk about all the stuff I supposedly did to her. The only thing I ever did to her was call her out on her bullshit. And that was after she accused me of doing things, like with the cease and desist letter that she sent me. And, all those things, like her going on, she and Amy had a channel there for a while, and all they did basically was just like the most grade schooler insults. She's ugly, she smells bad. And they actually said, I shit you not, she puts her fingers up her butt and smells them. I kid you not. They said it over and over and over again. And she said that last time. Well, that doesn't surprise me. I know the pattern's not going to change. One of the guys that goes into Jessica's live now, Cosmic, I can't believe he even speaks to her, because the last time when she and Amy had their channel together, they were trying to make friends with Cosmic and the guys that he was friends with in the RDA, and like really trying hard. And I called them out because they had seriously doxed Cosmic, seriously doxed him. And changed BS. So, but anyway, yeah, like she's doxed people. She has, I mean, I have never done any of the things that this girl has done. And she'll sit there. I mean, once again, she made up a whole ass human, and she had the nerve to call me in one of her community posts right before she came back. She called me the most manipulative person on YouTube. The girl who made up a whole ass human to get me and somebody else to speak to her again. And no matter what she says about her reasons for going to somebody's house and showing up, she didn't go there to play Captain Sabaho. She went there to try and get people she wanted to be accepted on YouTube again. And her problem is that she wants to be an influencer so bad. And she thinks that by the way to do that is by going on YouTube and screaming and cussing at people and calling them names. And sure, like being ugly will get people to come and hate watch you, and it will get people to come and watch you out of curiosity, but it's not going to be any kind of long-lasting attention. You're not really making friends. You're not endearing yourself to people by doing that. And being friends with somebody long enough to get whatever information or clout you think you can get from them, and then stabbing them in the back isn't the way to do that either. And right, that's how I feel, Bill. I'm not innocent, but I'm a saint compared to them and the things that they've done. I can categorically say that I have never specifically done anything to anybody on here. The worst thing that I ever did was when I first started on YouTube, and I swear to God, at the time I didn't realize it was such a big deal. But I was a mod for Misery, who some people may know who he is and some people may not, but he was I guess you could say a controversial YouTuber. He mostly did live streams and he idolized Howard Stern. And most of his streams were him trying to pretend to be Howard Stern, but he got a pretty big following. And he and these guys from a group called RDA would go at each other. And the things they would say and the way they would act, it was kind of like, to be honest, I thought it was kind of a bit. Like, I thought that it was kind of like WWE or whatever, you know, like they might have had real beef, but I thought most of it was for the sake of the audience. And they had this thing going where they had teamed up with this chick. Her name was Jamie. Some people called her Jamie. Some people called her Lemon. Some people called her Lemonade. Some people called her Lemonade. This red-haired girl who talked like she thought she was a porn star. And they were doxing the guy Misery. Well, at the time, I didn't realize that Misery was just as bad as they were. You know, but I didn't think it was very cool that they were sitting there like throwing up his personal information. And so what I did, and I admit to this fully, I've admitted to it before. What I did was I Googled Jamie's name because she'd already given, like, her name wasn't a secret. And I found her old, like an old address of hers, and I changed the numbers a little bit. And I was like, look, like I can find your information just as easy as you can find this guy's. And I did. I put that up there, and I put the name of her ex-husband up there. And I said, his wife's name is Jenny. Her number is 8675309. No, I said, call him at 8675309. His wife's name is Jenny. Call him and tell him you got her number. You know the song, Jenny, I've got your number. I need to make you mine. Jenny, don't change your number. 8675309. That was the joke. And that got somebody who I don't believe, well, they're not publicly on YouTube anymore. If they're around, they're lurking. So I won't mention them, but somebody put screenshots of me saying the Jenny 8675309 thing, and, you know, made a big deal out of it and said that I was doxing Lyman, Jamie, and which I guess, like, technically I did say her husband's name. And I did, like, I used kind of like a scrambled version of an old address of hers. But, you know, the thing was just kind of like, see, like, your information is as easy to get as his is. And at the time, I felt like I had such indignant rage for Misery, and I didn't realize what a big deal doxing is to some people. To this day, I still don't understand. Like, it's so easy to get people's addresses if you have their full name. And I don't understand, like, why that's so upsetting. Like, what are you going to do with somebody's address, really? But I understand how that can make some people feel afraid and embarrassed and upset. So, you know, I did do that. That's the one thing I did. I've never repeated anything like it since. And yeah, but that has been used against me. That happened in 2019, I think. And people are still using that as proof that I'm like a horrible human being. And I'll tell you what, I have never, ever, ever actually put up somebody's private information or distributed somebody's private information. I have never doxed anybody. I've been accused of doing it, never done it. But that I just told you all about, and the thing with the Knotts, are the two things that I've ever done. And the Knotts was, honest to God, it was supposed to be something that would, like, make people smile and make people laugh. And instead, it just freaked people out. And I hated that it turned out that way. And so, yeah, like, my character was afraid Knott. And it was based on that old dad joke, you know, where two strings walk into a bar and they order a drink. And The bartender says, I'm sorry, we don't serve strings here. So they go outside, and the first string says, let's go home. And the second string says, no, let's watch this. And so they bend themselves over and tie themselves up and mess their hair up real good. And they go back into the bar and order a drink. And the bartender says, I told you we don't serve strings here. You're a string, aren't you? And he says, no, I'm afraid not. And that's where the afraid not thing came from, the joke. And like whenever my character Afraid Not said something, it would always be like, I am afraid, spelled F-R-A-Y-E-D. He is not K-N-O-T, a good person. Or I am afraid that is not very funny. Or I am afraid that, like everything they said was based around the afraid not thing. So yeah, I mean, it was dumb. It was just a bunch of stupid dad jokes. And some of the Knotts were kind of taking pot shots at somebody that isn't and wasn't at the time very well liked. But that was about it. Like I said, it was supposed to be funny. And when we came up with the idea, we were 100% planning on later on telling everybody who the Knotts were. Like we wanted it to be like a fun mystery, like, oh, who are the Knotts? Like blah, blah, blah. And then after a little while of everybody like wondering who it was and blah, 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 that we'd be like, yeah, that's us. Ha, ha, ha. Good joke. But, it just didn't happen. And, but I have never, ever contacted anybody's family. I've had my family contacted. Now, Jessica and Amy didn't do that, but I've had my family contacted. I've had the police called on me by Jessica and by Amy. I have had cease and desist letters sent to my house by Jessica and somebody else who I don't think they're really on YouTube anymore either, so I will leave their name out of it. I have had my family doxxed and a page called BCF Heroin Junkie made that had information about my family members kind of low-key hidden in the titles of the videos. Like, for instance, let's just say I had a brother named Bill. Since Bill's here, there would be a song there that was just like somebody singing Bill, 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 like stuff like that. And I'm from West Virginia, so like one of the videos on there was that John Denver song, Almost Heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. And they took pictures off my private Facebook, which had been made inaccessible to people who were not on my friends list. So Jessica or Amy or somebody had to have taken those pictures and saved them when we were friends and put them up after we fell out. But some of those pictures were on there. Let's see. That's just part of some of the stuff that was done to me. And the only thing that they could ever say about me was that I was a Knott and that I had done the thing with limonades. That 8675309 thing. The only thing that any of those people can say, and Jessica will talk about what I supposedly, quote, did to her. The only thing that I ever did to Jessica was put out 3 or 4 little videos, and Amy was part of those too, and somebody else was aimed at in those, but they were harassing me at the time. And the only thing I did was tell the truth and use their own messages to show that they were actually doing what I was being accused of or what they were accusing someone else of. And I know it's not very nice to show private DMs, but I didn't show anything private. They told me about their lives. I didn't share anything private. They told me about themselves or their feelings or anything like that, because I'm not a complete and total scumbag. I just used their confessions about some of their dirty fucking deeds. And Oh, fuck you, Claire. You're a fucking cunt and you can eat shit. Really. You can just eat shit. I'm sorry. That girl, I have a long history with her and she was involved in some of the stuff that happened to me. Okay, Bill. Yes, what's your question? I'm kind of sorry that I probably shouldn't have banned Claire. I probably should. I didn't even read. I just saw her there and had an angry reaction. Oh, I didn't even read her question. I just saw her name and had an angry reaction and banned her right out. I should probably unban her. And that might take me a minute to do. Let's see. Claire, that had nothing to do with you, the whole Knott thing. So I don't understand why you really care. As part of a group, everything Knott was targeting a specific person as a joke as part of a group. Yeah, that's what I said. We did make a lot of jokes at that person's expense. Yes. Yeah, I hit her. Like as soon as I saw her, where I hit her because that person, she was pretty horrible to me. I'll just leave it at that. Besides making multiple trolls and coming in and saying some pretty disgusting things during my live streams, she was just part of some things that were pretty nasty, and I would rather not have her in my chat, really. I mean, I would let Jessica or Amy in my chat before I'd let her in my chat. Yeah. Anyway, I just don't even want to. She just did some really ugly stuff. And it's one of those things where, I thought she was a friend and she did some dirty things. And I found out pretty quick that she wasn't my friend. So, I had at the time a Discord, and there were some people who were going in there and screenshotting private conversations and things like that, and like using those to hurt people with. And like we had it was like a nice little group of friends. We go in and talk about our day. There was like some recovery talk and, just different things. And I'm trying to think of how to put it, but they just betrayed a confidence, I guess you can say. Like you trust people with some things that are kind of private and they go out and spread things. Like, I think that's ugly. If you have a private Discord and you let people in as friends and they take screenshots of it, that's kind of an ugly thing to do. Doesn't say anything. Well, that's true. That's true. But I think when you come in under spy, like you're just pretending to be like, my thing is like, okay, there's a difference between just being a sub and like hanging out in somebody's chat and actually pretending to be their friend. Those are two different things. And when you start talking to somebody and pretending to be their friend and you're just trying to get information out of them, that's an ugly thing to do. And that's what bothers me. So, yeah. So, Yeah, I learned my lesson about that. I know people can sneak in, but there was some just very off-putting and not right behavior, like mentally not right behavior that happened with that person, and they may be fine now, but I just don't want anything to do with it. Like, really, it was very off kilter and strange. How that person who I barely knew really kind of came in as a friend, and then like all of a sudden she just started doing some kind of weird stuff. I don't know. Anyway, uh, yeah. So that was weird seeing her in here too. Like, I don't even think that I haven't seen her in a chat or anything since, gosh, it's been at least 5 years probably, for real. I didn't even know she was still around. But anyway, okay, so let's see. We're talking about animal stuff. Okay. I'll do some fun stuff again. I found, like, do y'all remember the ASPCA? Or, well, actually, I don't think it was ASPCA. It was some kind of animal help thing, but like they played that Sarah McLachlan song, In the Arms of the Angels, and like you'd sit there and watch them and just like squall and stuff. Um, I found this, and I'm not a big, huge Family Guy fan, so I'd never seen it before, but you all might have. But I found this little, yeah, Aurora. I learned a lot quick. My first year that I was here, though, when I came, I didn't know anything. And when I like got into this community, I was just really bowled over by how toxic it could be, because I took everybody that I met at face value at first, and now I know better. But at the time I didn't, and I just thought everybody who was nice and acted like a friend was a friend. And oh my God, like, I learned my lesson, learned it good. But um yeah, I'm a lot. No, you're absolutely right. I am that's not misbehaving, that's just the truth. I learned really quickly that you can't trust anybody. Absolutely cannot trust anybody. Anyway, do you want to see this little commercial here? Or I don't know, it's like a spoof on those Sarah McLachlan commercials. I thought it was kind of funny. Let's see. Or should we talk about something else? Yes. Yes. All right, check this out. I think it's freaking funny. Okay, hold on. I'll share it with you. And who knows, I'll probably end up getting struck for this, but it's only like 20 seconds long.
We now return to an ASPCA commercial with the wrong music.
Oh, they seem to be doing okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that was funny. I saw this thing where this mama kitty was, another thing with animals being so cool, where a mama kitty was given birth. And all those things you see where like women are giving birth and the husband is like anxiously pacing or trying to like make her feel better, and it's so sweet. We've all seen those. Well, I never knew that the same thing could happen with animals. Like that, animal parents, dads to be and whatever, could get so like worked up and nervous for the mom and excited about the babies coming. And check this out. Hang on a second here. Okay. Okay, check this out. That's the daddy right there. And mommy giving birth. Watch him. Isn't that the sweetest thing? And I don't know if that's something he's doing just to make her feel better or if that somehow like helps the babies come out or maybe helps the mommy nurse or something. But there was one time when I was sick and I mean, I was really sick. I've been throwing up and everything. And my boy cat got up on my belly and he's real heavy. He's a 22 pounder, but he got up on my lower belly and started pushing on it, just like that cat is pushing on mommy right there. Exactly like that. And it did kind of feel good. And he was purring real, real loud and like giving me this really intense look. But I swear at the time, my partner and I were calling him the healer because it was like he was trying to make me better. And then we found this video and I was like, oh my gosh, that's my Tig trying to make me feel better. Only I wasn't giving birth. I was just puking my guts up. But isn't that the sweetest freaking thing, man? I just love that. So, oh, you can't see him? Okay, let me try again. I use the button that says share this instead. And I'm sorry. All right, I'll show it again. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm sorry. All right, this is just the next video. I'm not sharing soap cubes with you, I promise. Okay, here we go. So you check out how he's rubbing her belly. See that? Do you think he's trying to help more babies come out, or is that help her nurse? Because I think only one baby, like I only see one baby. So I've been trying to figure this out forever, like whether he's trying to help her deliver the babies or whether he's trying to help her nurse or whether he's just making her feel better. Oh, you got your Abby at 2 and she was already a mom. Oh, well, yeah, Bill, I fostered a mommy cat once and she was barely out of kittenhood. And it wasn't long after I took her in that I found out she was pregnant. She just had one kitty. It was one perfect little kitty. But yeah, she definitely was. They can definitely have them like even before they're a year old. And this little girl that I fostered hadn't even stopped growing yet. Like she was still growing when I took her in. And the reason that I took her in was because the people who were taking, like I was bringing her food and everything because the people who were taking care of her wouldn't feed her. But they kept them in her house. And that's what I thought too, Aurora, that he was helping her deliver or maybe like helping her belly feel better. Because it's just like my kitty was rubbing my belly when I was so sick and my belly was hurting so bad. Like the way he's like kind of pushing and it looks like he's making biscuits, only he's not using his claws. And that's exactly what my boy was doing on my belly when I was so sick that day. But anyway, these people had let their 5-year-old son take that kitten away from its mom the night it was born and sleep with it in his bed. And my friend that lived next to him was sending me these messages like these people are going to kill that kitten, blah, 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 like wanting me to do something about it. So I went over there and I sat down with the little boy and had a very serious talk. He was about 5, I think. And, you know, I was telling him, you know, Kitty needs to be with his mommy because he has to eat every couple hours. And even if that wasn't so, Kitty's tiny and he can get hurt real easy. And what would happen if you would roll over in the middle of the night and, hurt Kitty? And then you'd feel so bad. And we don't want Kitty to get hurt. And, like I had this big conversation with him. And then I talked to the mom and I was like, listen, you can't be doing that unless you want your son to wake up and find a dead kitten in his bed that he either smashed or let starve to death. So, you can't let this happen. But anyway, these lovely people got raided by the police a few days after that. And I don't know if they did it or if the cops did it, but somebody threw that poor mommy cat and her newborn baby out onto the sidewalk in 100-degree weather in the middle of June. And once again, I get off work and I've got all these frantic messages, you got to do something. These cats are going to die, blah, blah, blah. So I go down there and I get the cat and I take it to my house with the kitten. And the first thing I did, was get him a dark little corner of the closet where mommy could be alone with her baby. And it wasn't long after I made him at home. And, of course, I left him alone so she could have some peace. And I heard this wailing coming from the closet. And I was like, shit, what's wrong? And the mommy cat was just crying. So I went in there to see, what was up. And when I reached down to pet her, and tell her she was okay, she put her mouth on my hand. And I was like, is she biting me? Like, what the hell? Like, I can't believe she'd bite me. And I realized like she wasn't putting any pressure behind it. And I was like, okay, like she's trying to do something. So I just kind of rolled with it. And she was taking my hand in her mouth and putting it, like she put it on the baby. And then she sat there and waited to make sure I wasn't going to take my hand off the baby. And then once she was satisfied, after a little while went by and she was satisfied I wasn't going to move my hand, she went and she used the litter box and she got herself a little something to eat and a little something to drink. And then she came back, took my hand in her mouth, took it off the kitten and laid back down with the baby. And if anybody else got near that box but me, she would sit on that kitten to hide it. She was so afraid that somebody was going to take him away from her. And I had him for about 2 months. And the baby got big enough that he started wanting to eat big boy food. And mommy didn't like that. And she would like push him away from the food and eat it real fast so he couldn't eat it. And then start like force him to nurse. And so I called the vet because I was a little worried. And the vet said, yeah, like at the age that the cat is, and it's far enough along that she needs to wean for her health because there's an infection called mastitis that they can get from nursing for too long. It's like an infection of the mammary glands and it could be fatal. And they told me I needed to separate them. Well, she was so attached to her kitten and I really didn't want to, but then the hologram started getting sick. He was really allergic to cats, but it was only certain cats that he was allergic to. And unfortunately, this poor little kitty and the baby, he was horribly, horribly, horribly allergic to. And he was so sick the whole time that they were in our house. And he was trying so hard to be kind about it, but I could just tell he was miserable. And then he started talking like, maybe we need to call a shelter. And I so didn't want to send them to a shelter. So I did, like I vetted that. We went and got them fixed and I found good homes for them. But in the end, I had to split the mommy and the baby up and it broke my heart. It still makes me want to cry to think about it. Like I still feel like I did her dirty. Now I did find a really good home for the baby, like a really good home. These people even had like a special room. They had dogs and cats both, but they had a special room that had like a infrared thing that attached to the cat's collar, and the door, like the cat door or whatever, would only open when the collars got within a certain range of the door, so that the dogs could not come in there at all. So the cats had their own designated place where they could just chill and be dog free. And, it had toys, like they showed me pictures and like they were really, really into it. So I know that the boy went to a good home. I'm not 100% sure now. At the time, I thought the mommy had a great home, but like when she first went there, you know, they were giving me updates on how she was doing and all that. And then all of a sudden they stopped returning my messages and calls. And so I just never felt entirely easy about that. And I will never, ever foster again after that, because I just feel like I didn't do right enough by her. And I wish I'd tried harder not to split them up. Like, I just hated that I had to, but it broke my heart. So you're allergic to cats too? Yeah. So you have all dogs. A lot of people who are allergic can handle, like I said, the hologram, he can handle certain cats. And I think his problem was dander. And like our girl cat, she has very, very thin and fine hair. It feels like a rabbit fur or people hair almost. And she doesn't have an undercoat. And he never had a bit of trouble with her. Now our boy has extremely thick hair and an undercoat. And the only time that it bothered him was when he got really, really close, like got up in his face. But it didn't bother him as long as he just interacted with him kind of normally. But just having, and he didn't, after he realized how allergic he was to our foster cat, our cat stayed, the foster stayed in the bathroom all the time. And he could be on the complete other end of the house, and his nose and would be pouring, and his eyes would be streaming, and his face would be all red. And it was just crazy how miserable allergic he was to him. But it was so cute, because when I got our girl, we lost our boy, our ginger boy that we both adored, to the moon and back. He was a rescue from a severely abusive situation. And I basically stole him and took him to my house. And we just loved that cat so much. And he had congestive heart failure, and he passed away in the beginning of December. I want to say it was December 13th, but it was 2013. So that might be why I'm thinking it was December 13th. But anyway, it was in December of 2013 was when he passed away. And I adopted our girl in May. And I think he just wasn't over, like, well, we were both still grieving our boy. But for me, I think the best thing you can do when you lose a pet is to adopt one who needs a home. I think it's a good way to honor them. And I think it's also a good way to kind of deal with the grief, to just to have something to love. You know, it's good for you. It's good for the soul. And he just didn't feel like he was ready yet. So I kind of adopted her. Like, he knew I was doing it, but I just kind of did it. And he was like, and you know, I'm allergic. I don't want that cat in our bed, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. And he's like, I'm serious, Amber. He's like, if I see that cat in our bed even once, she's going to the pound, and blah, 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 blah. So like the second night, I think it was, or the third night that she was in our house, I go back into the bedroom, and she's all cuddled up under his chin, and I start freaking out. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Cause he was sleeping. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'll get her. And he's, you leave her alone. She's fine right where she is. And that was the end of the complaining about me getting another cat. But he missed, oh, I'm sorry, Bill. It's almost a year. You know, I lost my boy 13 years ago, and I still doesn't a day go by that I don't miss him. Like, it's losing a family member. When you lose a pet that you love, you lose a family member, and the grief is real. When I lost my boy, his name was Ollie. When I lost Ollie, I just cried and cried and cried. And I went to work, and I was so upset. And I remember somebody asking me what was wrong. And I was like, oh, you know, I don't want to talk about it, whatever. And they kept asking and asking. So finally I told them, and they started laughing. And I was like, okay, asshole, you know, that's nice. And he was like, it's just a cat. I was like, there's no such thing. Like, when it's something you love, there's no such thing as just, you know, it's not just a cat. That's like saying, well, it's just a person. It's just a kid, you know, it's you loved them. I mean, that's real. And the grief is real when you lose them. And people who don't recognize that are garbage people, in my opinion. like I said, just my opinion, but I'm trying to find, there was one of the talking cats, Flounder. I was telling you all earlier that she lost her cat brother, Fiki, recently, very recently. And oh my goodness, it was so sad. But there's this video here. I just want to show it to you. Let's see. Give me just a moment here. I'll talk to you while I'm looking, but I just need a minute to find it. The cat's name is Flounder. This is the one that wrote her own book. Flounder cat. There's her channel. Okay. And this one cracks me up because whenever something happens that she doesn't like if somebody turns Pocahontas off, for instance, he'll tell them they're rude, or she will tell them they're rude. It's a she, not a boy. Let's see. Oh, here's one of the ones. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, here's a couple of them. They're all shorts, and I'm just going to play you a couple. It is kind of sad, but it just shows how animals feel. It blows my mind that people think they don't have feelings. Okay, let's see. Here's one. Give me a second here. Okay.
Remember Fiki.
Fiki. Remember.
Remember Fiki. Remember Fiki. Do you see? Look. Look, Flounder, look. Look.
She's showing him one of Fiki's toys.
Remember.
Love you, yeah, remember. You want remember? Yeah, let's remember. Let's remember, yes. Yes, let's remember. Here. Ready to remember? You want remember? Here.
Isn't that amazing? To me, that's amazing. Let's see here. Hold on. It's so freaking annoying that I can't stop my shelf thing from disappearing on me. It's so fucking irritating. Oh, he chose you for his last day. Oh. She's on my CP. What's CP? Blossom. Oh. Oh, here's one with the mouse toy. Okay. I gotta share. I'm not gonna make you watch a bunch of these because then we'll all be crying. But this thing with her mouse toy, to me, I think is the most fascinating fucking thing I've ever seen. Just the way she plays pretend, and he is her imaginary friend, basically. It blows my mind. But this is mouse toy being sad about losing Fiki. Now that's Mouse Toy in the hamster ball, by the way. And Mouse Toy was with her when she came to live with her humans as a kitten. So she's had Mouse Toy all her life. And Mouse Toy spends time in the hamster ball because there's not much left of him. And so they're trying to preserve him, so they keep him in the hamster ball now so he doesn't get tore up worse.
Sad. Why are you sad, baby? Mouse toy.
Oh, I guess that was all there was to that one. She was just telling a Mouse Toy to be sad.
Why are you sad, baby?
Okay, wait. Let's see. Oh, okay. Here's one. Just a second. And then after this, I'll try to find you one of her community posts. I always forget what CP means. I'm such a doofus. Okay, let's see. Here's one of her it's like the day after Fiki passed. It's her trying to figure out what happened, I guess.
The day after Fiki left us, Flounder spent the entire morning searching for him. She checked all the places he normally rests, and then she talked about it with her people words, followed by her long-distance screaming. My heart is completely shattered.
Where what? Where, friend? Which friend?
I think that must be the kitty version of crying because that's not a sound that particular cat makes normally on her videos. So yeah. So I won't show any more of the sad stuff, I promise. Like, it's just so sad. And there was one where she said something like, "Want yesterday happy," or something like that. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I would like to show you one of the ones where we find that or we see her playing pretend with Mouse Toy, where she's like trying to teach her Mouse Toy how to do something, or she's also fascinated with the Christmas tree. Like, I saw one where well, now they leave the Christmas tree up all the time because she gets so upset when they take it down. But before, when they had taken it down, they made her get the Christmas tree out so that she said that the Christmas tree wanted pets. And so they got the Christmas tree out and opened the box. And she went over with her little paw and was petting the Christmas tree. And yeah, it was so fucking cute. But let's see. Let's see. Let's try Mouse Toy's daily piano lesson. Let's try that one. Okay, now this is, like I said, she plays with this little mouse toy. Like, yeah, it does kind of sound like she's saying that. She has this yowl whenever she uses her people words. She kind of has this scream that she does, I guess, to let them know that she's telling them something important. So, and to tell you the truth, my cat hollered like that all the time. Like, I love vocal cats, but boy, that is kind of a painful meow, I think. But let's check this out. That Christmas tree is her own special little Pocahontas Christmas tree. See, Mouse Toy has her own little piano.
Now Flounder play. More. Play more. More. That's good singing.
Oh, she usually does more than that. The first one I saw, like before they had really figured out that Flounder thought that Mouse Toy was real, she was putting Mouse Toy on top of the piano and would play it. And she would put her like up on the same little stool that she would sit on to watch Pocahontas. And I said it just blows my mind that that they play pretend like that. And I always said that my little girl, because I have pictures with her all snuggled up with her toys and things, and I always said that she reminded me of a little girl with a baby doll. And I kind of think that she was playing pretend with her little, it was always her little toys that were shaped like animals. And I would find her cuddled up with them. And sometimes she'd bring them to bed with us. Like I'd wake up and I'd find her cuddled like with her little, she had this one, we call it Lion Bob. And it's funny because at the time my friend had a boyfriend named Bob and he was a liar. So this toy is like a little lion. And so we named it Lion Bob. But anyway, I know it's really, really, really lame. But especially for a cat toy. If I'd known that she would love Lion Bob so much, I would have gave Lion Bob a better name. But it's too late now. Lion Bob is Lion Bob, and that's his name. So unfortunately, we're stuck with it. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can find a picture of my girl with one of her lovies. I know I have one somewhere. It'll just take me a moment to find it because, I didn't come prepared. Let's see, like I should have. I might be able to find them on my Google Drive, though. I wonder. Oh, they'd be in like my Google Pictures, probably. So while I'm looking for this, if you all are interested, I will find some clips of the shelter events that I was talking about, and we can take a look at those. I'm kind of bummed that more people didn't come. Something must have happened. Maybe it's because I rescheduled it, but we were supposed to have some guests and stuff, and I don't know what happened. Let's see. Google. Google Photos. Yeah, I'd be under Google Photos, right? Yeah. Let's see. Saves and collections. Saves and collections, maybe? That's weird. I know. It's okay. Never mind. I remember. Okay. Another thing that sucks about having a Chromebook is it's always trying to get me to use apps, even though it's not an app using device per se. So it's really, really, really fucking irritating. God, it's taken forever to load. I wonder why. Maybe it's because it's been so long since I loaded it. Let's see. 2013 is where we want to be, I think. Well, crap. I don't think it's going to let me load them. Well, thank you, Bill, for sharing me out. And thank you, Aurora. I'm going to go into my Facebook and see. That'll be quicker. This is going to take forever to load. And I really, really, really want to show off my kitties. I love my cats. I'm so proud of them. They're my babies. They're my babies. Let's see. I'm going to pull up the pictures on my Facebook, but I'm not going to put my Facebook on here because we know what happens when we do that, even though my Facebook is all blocked, so people can't access it. I'm sure somebody would find a way, or they would do something, so I'm not going to do that. So bear with me here. I'm just going to find the pictures. Okay, let's see, photos. There we go. I can show you. Oh, here's some good ones. I can show you a picture of my ginger boy too. Oh, I'm so happy. This makes me happy. Okay, I'm going to show you my ginger first because he is the first one that comes up. Let's see. There we go. Okay. This is my ginger, my Ollie cat as my baby. Yeah, I don't know where everybody is either. I'm surprised, but that's okay. We still had fun anyway, and we will have other ones in the future as well. Okay. This was my Ollie. That's my good ginger boy. I love that picture because he used to, whenever it was bedtime, he would get under the covers and he would go all the way down under, like slide under the covers and then turn around and crawl so that his head was poking out just like that. And I would go to bed and there he'd be waiting for me like that to come in and cuddle with. And he was so polite about it because you know how a lot of cats, well, most of the people I know that have cats that sleep with them, their cats will like lay around your head or lay on top of your face or whatever. But he would always like cuddle up against my side and a lot of times I'd wake up and his little head would be on my shoulder. So he'd be curled up in my armpit with his little head laying on my shoulder. It was so cute. but he was a good, very polite little sleeping buddy. Um, oh, thank you. I thought he was pretty too. It's still like it makes me want to cry looking at him. I miss that cat so much. He was the best boy. He was the best boy. And the people who had him before me treated him so bad. It still hurts me to think that anybody could be mean to that sweet baby. But anyway, okay. So let me find the next one. Let's see how long ago this was. Okay, this is from 2019. This was the year I got my boy. At the time, we thought he was a girl. So his name is Tiggy Ann, because we thought he was a girl for so long. And that's him. He was a baby at the time, but he was still pretty big. And I was on my way to work. Well, he might have been about a year old by then. But I loved it because even if I wake him up, like, he would always have a little smile for me. And he was sleeping in that little spot, and I woke him up to kiss him goodbye. And he just woke up with that sweet little smile on his face. So I had to take a picture of him. But that was one of the first, well, no, that's not one of the first pictures we took of him. But anyway, I love that picture because he looks so sweet. And he's got the best markings. Like, he's got a full-on leopard belly, and his markings are really dark and like really, really prominent. It's not just like regular tabby markings. Like, he's got beautiful, beautiful markings. And let's see. Here's my girl with Lion Bob. Okay, just a second. That's Miss Olive Grace with Lion Bob. And no, I turned Lion Bob so you can see his face a little more. I kind of hate it. I wish I hadn't done that because it was better the way she had it. But you couldn't really tell so much what it was she was cuddling. So I moved his head, and I wish I hadn't. But that's my sweet baby girl right there. And she's the sweetest thing. She really is. And she's got the most unusual little habits and things. I've got a video, but for some reason I can't get it to play on iCloud because I wanted to play it for you. It's showing she drinks water very strangely. Like, I mean, it's not so odd that she only drinks it out of the tap. She will only drink it out of our bathroom tap. But when she does, she turns her head almost completely upside down to get to it. And it's so crazy. Like, when you watch her drink, it's so crazy. I'm going to try and find a better picture of her, Aurora, because she is so pretty. And she's got these big, giant doll baby eyes. Like, her eyes are huge. Not like cat eyes at all. And, oh, there's one of her with the hologram. Oh, that makes me sad. Let's see here. I'm looking for a good one to show you of either the two of them together, or like, I want you to see how pretty her eyes are. Oh, I got to show you this one because I was using the computer one day, and I came in and found my girl sitting in front of it. And I swear, like, oh, here's a picture of her and my boy too, back when her markings have faded since she's gotten older. But when she was young, she had really unusual markings. They were almost marbled like. And I think because of those that she might have had a little Bengal in her wood pile somewhere. But she's got the coolest markings, I think. Like swirls more than like regular tabby looking markings. And she has a full-on leopard belly as well. But I just think she's a gorgeous girl. And oh, sorry, you can see, there we go. I didn't mean for the comments to show. I don't think it matters, but yep, that's my girl and that's my boy. And she is like 4 years older than he is, or maybe 3 years older than he is. And look at how tiny she is compared to him. But she treats him like she's his mom, and she'll hold him down and like forcefully clean him, aggressively clean him. And he lets her do it. And it's so funny. And like, if they're eating or something, like, she'll step back and let him have her food if he acts like he wants it. I swear, I think she thinks he's her kitten, but it's so sweet. She just loves him so much. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is the one. I found her sitting in front of my laptop. And it's a picture of her on the screen. But somebody told me, and I think it's funny, that just by the way it almost looks like she's cruising Tinder for cats. But I love that picture. I should have made that my thumbnail, actually. Anyway. Let's see if I have any other good ones. I want one that shows how big my boy is, like really shows how big he is. That's a pretty good one. I'd like one that shows how pretty his markings are too. Let's see. Bear with me here. I won't make y'all wait forever. I'm just cruising past, like some of these are old and there's so many pictures here because this was when Game of Thrones was getting ready to stop. So there's so many like Game of Thrones things here that I have to go through because this is from Facebook. So yeah, it's pitiful, I know. Oh, here's a good one of them. Actually, here's a good one of my boy. This is a cute one. He's obsessed with boxes of any kind. There's something about cardboard that he loves, which is weird because like I have an issue with some textures and stuff, and cardboard is one. Like I can hardly even stand to touch it. And the sound that it makes when somebody runs their hand across a piece of cardboard, oh, I can't stand it. But he loves cardboard. And he actually, all 22 pounds of him, my partner had flattened an empty Coke can thing, and he squeezed his huge body in that thing and hid out like that for a couple, well, I'd say it was at least a good hour. It might have been even longer. And we left it there. He played with it for days after that too. He just loved that Coke box thing. And he loves any kind of box. Like he is all about boxes and those cardboard scratchers, and he likes to chew on cardboard even. It's so weird. I don't know what his obsession with cardboard is, but of all things to be obsessed with, it's the one thing that I absolutely cannot stand. Oh, here's a picture. This is so sweet. I swear I'm not going to, I'll make this the last one. I know I'm probably irritating the shit out of you, but I love this picture because this was not long after we had adopted Tiggy, and I think the look that she's giving him is just like, oh, I love you so much. Look at that. Doesn't that just look like a look of love that she's giving him? They're so sweet. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I have any other ones that are really good. I had one that I'd taken of her. Well, a few that I'd taken of her out in the yard. You could really see how pretty her eyes were and how she had these big, like human-looking eyes. Her eyes look human. And they're very rarely, you know how cat pupils' eyes are shaped like elliptical, and they're usually very kind of small. And hers are almost always big and round. And even my roommate, who isn't even into cats, like talks about my cat's big, beautiful eyes. And I just think her big, pretty eyes are just so amazing. I'd like to find a picture that just shows how pretty her eyes are. Okay, 1 second here. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm making you wait again. I would be sharing this with you if it wasn't for the fact that people are so vile, and I know that if I was actually looking for these pictures and sharing my screen while I did it, that I'd be finding pictures of my family all over the place, and I'm really not up for that again, so I'm sorry that you're just sitting here listening to me navigate or narrate about nothing. Oh, do y'all want to see Tiggy's first selfie? He took a picture of himself when he was still kitten size, and it was interesting. I'll show it to you. He actually, what he did was he booped the screen, and I was actually trying to get a picture of either one of them. I was just taking pictures, but he booped the screen and took a selfie of himself. And there it is. That's his very first selfie. I was rather impressed. Okay, let's see. Maybe, no, I can't. I was going to say I'd leave it up if I could, but I can't do that. Okay, let's see. Oh, here's a picture of him as a baby when, oh, I've got pictures of the kitty that I fostered and the baby too. I'd forgotten those were still in here. Okay, this is when we decided that Tiggy was getting adopted by us. The picture, there was something, my partner took this picture and there was something on his camera, like lens or screen or whatever, his phone, I mean. And so the picture is potato quality, but you can still see like the striped one is Tiggy, and he was a baby at the time, but he's almost the size of my girl who was like 3 or 4 at the time. He was already like outgrowing, and he was just a kitten then. But she carried him in, and she had always hated other animals. She would start like meowing and hissing and spitting and all that stuff. And but she, for some reason, took to him, and she just picked him up and brought him in the house and got up on the couch with him and started cleaning him. And he sent me that picture and said, we have to keep him now. Well, he actually said we have to keep her now because we thought Tiggy was a girl. And that's why he is named Tiggy Ann. And he's gender fluid. That's what we say. He's gender fluid. But yes, that was where the love story started between Olive and Tigster. Let's see. I'll show you a picture of, I called her Goldie while we had her. I'm just going to show one because I don't want to, it makes me sad. But this is a picture of Goldie and her kitten. It's not a very good quality of picture either, but anyway, it'll just show you for a second because I told you their story. That's the little baby and mommy that I fostered for a little while and sent them off to another home. But I sure did love her while I had her. And if I'd had my way about it, I would have kept them both. I'll show you what she looked like. Oh, hang on a second. I'll leave that one up because I can go through. All of her pictures are together. That's her with those golden, oh, that's a baby next to her. But that's her with those beautiful golden eyes. That's why I called her Goldie, because she had beautiful golden eyes. That's the baby when he was first born. Oh, that's my Tig. Okay, let's see. There was another one that showed how pretty. That's a baby getting his first big boy drink. That's her wrestling with the baby. Oh, there she is with her pretty gold eyes. Isn't she pretty? She's pretty. She wasn't very old, though. She's still just a little thing. That's the picture that I like the best of her. I don't know why. She just looks so saucy. But yeah, that was my little foster. Let's see. I still never did find the great hunting or the picture of Olive. I said it was her hunting, but it's actually her out in the yard, like hiding in the grass and stuff. And where her eyes, like sometimes they look like they're apple green and sometimes they just look gray. And where she was out in the grass and stuff, and she was hiding between these pepper plants that my partner was growing in these like green bucket things. And I guess it was the color or whatever was reflecting back onto her. It made her eyes look this beautiful bright green, and they were just really pretty pictures of her. And I was trying to find those to share with you, but so far I have not had any luck finding them. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think we've already gone past that time. I thought they were all on Facebook, though. I guess not. Well, I guess I've shown you all enough anyway. I just wanted a picture that showed her pretty. Oh, no, here's some more. Here's some more. One second. Oh, here's another picture of her with another one of her babies. Hang on. That's her with another one of her babies. So I woke up one morning and there she was just laying like that with her little bear. She didn't like the bear as much as she liked Lion Bob, though. Okay, let's see. Oh, here are the ones that show her pretty eyes and stuff. Okay. Okay, this is the last of them, I promise. This one just shows her pretty face and her pretty eyes. Check her out. That's her hiding in the plants there. I love her eyes. Now that one, of course, she's in the sun, so it doesn't show her big, but almost always her eyes are usually, like the pupils are usually giant. But I love her eyes. I think they're so pretty. There's her with monkey toy. Okay, I think that's it. So I guess that's about all I have to talk about. I think I've run out of stuff. I never did show you before we leave. I'll have to show you a couple of the reels. They're just shorts, don't worry, of the reason why I wanted to do this anyway. And then I barely even talked about it, but where the animals got to choose their owner. I just picked a couple of them at random. So let's see if these are good examples of them. Hang on a moment. Now, these are the shelters where they actually interact with the animals for a little bit. And then they have the people. And in some of these, they're like gymnasiums full of people, and they all seem to be just crammed in there together. But they let the animals choose their owner. This first one is a cat one. I'm afraid I don't want to use the music. There's no sound other than the music, so we don't need it, I don't think. Oh, maybe we do need it. No, that's like the song doubled over. That's weird. No. See, all the people in those chairs are all hoping that that one little animal will choose them. Isn't that cool? That they like give them that much agency to choose the person that they're going to be with for the rest of their lives. I just think that's the best idea. Okay, this one's for dogs. Okay, yeah, we don't need that sound either. There was one that just made me ugly cry, and it had a guy who was in a wheelchair, and this dog had picked him, and he just burst into tears, and he was like, finally somebody loves me. And oh gosh, I'm gonna start bawling again just telling you about it. Another one with an elderly lady, and she was like, finally I'm not alone anymore. And oh my gosh, like I sat there and like I couldn't even breathe. I was crying so hard. But I just think this is the best idea, and I can't believe that it took this long for us to think of it, to be honest. Like, so you've seen him before, Aurora? I had never heard of him before. I didn't know such a thing existed until like a week or two ago. Let's see. I'll do it. Like, I've got some other longer ones here. Let's just take a look. Let's see if there's any sound. No, this is bullshit. I'm supposed to have an ad blocker. Why am I getting ads on here? Ad blocker. You got some splaining to do. Ad blocker. Okay.
December 2025 adoption list.
What a lady she is. Look at what she did. Oh, man, what a lady. People are to be picked. Like, you know, if somebody is that happy that of course, like, that has to be the best feeling too, to know that that animal loved you and trusted you so much that they were willing to look at that. Oh my gosh, it's so sweet. That has to be the best feeling in the world. I mean, it's one thing, you know, to like spend time bonding and you know that they already love you and stuff, but to have them actually pick you like that and say, I want you to be my forever person. Like, that's just magical to me. And how could anybody ever be mean to that? How could anybody ever be mean to one of those babies? Look at that sweet baby. Oh my goodness, look at how beautiful she is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I wonder though, like the grooming. Looking at that dog, I'm just thinking about the grooming. Ooh.
That's so sweet.
He's making himself at home.
Like I've seen so many of these. This isn't even like one of the most heartwarming ones I've seen. Like I've seen some that like seriously I can't get through without bawling and squalling like a little baby my own self. I mean, it's just, oh gosh. I'm going to show you some of the kitties. The kitties aren't as
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round.
Once again, damn ad blocker, you got some splaining to do. Yeah, they are amazing. Like, oh my gosh, anytime I'm feeling bad now, that's become my medicine anymore. For like, if I have a blah kind of day, or just like one of those days where you just, nothing seems to go right and you just feel like shit, I spend a little while watching some of those videos, and it's like takes care of all of it. It just makes all the bad feelings go away. Okay, so this tells how the animals got to be with them. Okay, let's shift.
60 cats into a room full of participants willing to be chosen as the adopter. Every one of the cats has been found wandering the streets, many in the cold, all on their own. Cats don't pretend. If they like you, you'll know instantly. So in this room, nobody tries to win them over. Humans sit perfectly still. No reaching, no leaning forward. The cats walk in with full freedom to choose or ignore everyone. And when a cat finally decides to stop in front of one person, it's not politeness. It's real trust happening in real time.
Oh, they even blindfolded them. I haven't seen one where they blindfolded them before.
Tómenlo con calma.
Let him decide.
Oh.
Preview.
Hold your hands.
Quiet, please.
Oh, good night, Bill. Thank you for coming. We're going to wrap up soon anyway.
Hold your hands.
Hi, sweetheart.
Thank you. Grandma, that's so cool.
Anything you want to say to people watching at home?
Yeah, if you've been waiting for the perfect moment, it doesn't really come like that. I didn't plan to feel this much today. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm really grateful.
Okay, just a couple more.
Here, sweetheart.
She picked you, Grandma.
Yeah, she did.
Hello.
Just watch.
I saw one of these though, and the cat like jumped into somebody's lap, and then they crawled across him and like ended up in the person next to him's lap. And I was watching that and I was like thinking, oh my God, like how bad that first person must have felt because, like your hopes were all up and you're like, oh my God, they picked me. And then it turned out that they actually wanted the person next to you. That would be terrible. But otherwise, like, I think this is the most amazing idea. I really do, because really, not every animal and every human is compatible. And that's one thing a lot of people don't realize. You can't just go and adopt an animal and it's not always going to be love. Your personalities have to match. Just like you just can't go and pick out a random guy or a random woman and say, we're going to be a couple forever. Well, I guess like animals and couples are different, but you know what I'm saying. You can't just pick somebody out at random and have them be your best friend just because you want them to be your best friend. It's you might not end up liking them. They might not end up liking you. And a good example of this was a friend of mine had a cat, and it was an older cat. And she told me that they were going to have to take her to the pound. And at the time, I didn't have a cat at all. And my partner and I talked it over, and we were like, well, bring her over and we will adopt her. It never occurred to us that it might not work out. We'll just because she told us she's a really sweet cat. She's quiet. She's got everything she needs. And they brought like all her favorite things over. We got her the food she liked. And we were so excited to have this cat come live with us. She was a beautiful calico cat. Her name was Chloe. And this cat did not want any part of us. She even refused to use the litter box. She was so upset at being given away. That's what I think. She just wanted to go home. She wanted her family back. She did not want to be with us. She wanted her family. And in the end, we ended up talking to them, and we were like, listen, this cat is miserable. She wants you. She wants to go back home. And they ended up like working it out. My friend who was the owner of the cat she'd grown up with the cat in her mom's home. So she ended up coming and getting the cat back and taking her to her mom's house to live instead, because at least that was a home that Chloe was familiar with, and she knew, and like the mom, she wasn't really the mom's cat as much, but at least those were people she knew and loved already. But she just did not want any part of us as much as we wanted her. She wanted her people. She wanted the people she loved. She wanted to go home, and that was it. And it just felt mean to me to even try to keep her if there was another option there, and luckily they were willing to take her back, because if they hadn't, of course, we would have kept her or tried to find somebody that she did want. She absolutely would not have adapted to us. But I'm just glad it didn't come to that. She was able to go back to her people, because that was where she wanted to be. Of course, that's not always an option. My boy is still mourning his daddy. It's the saddest thing, but he would always come and wait at the door for his daddy to come home from work. And when his daddy passed, he would go and wait for him to come home every day. And you could just see it in his little body. Like he'd hang his little head and his shoulders would slump. And you could just tell that he was so sad. And, it's been a little over it's been going on 3 years now. And I still think he hasn't given up hope, because that same door, the door that my partner used to come in by, wasn't the main door. It was like a side door. And I never used that door. But my roommate, we only have one key to each door in the house. So she uses the side door. So that's the one she has a key to. And I use the front door. So sometimes still when he hears that door open, he'll come running. And I know he's thinking that that's daddy, just hoping that might be daddy. And I don't have any way to tell him or explain it to him, although I've tried. It's just sad. And when I saw that little kitty with her buttons being able to talk about, where's her friend? And then being able to explain it to her, I was thinking, gee, I wish I could communicate with my cat like that so I could maybe help him to understand that what had happened and, that daddy still loves him and that mommy will always be here and that mommy loves him too. But, I miss his daddy too. So on the other side of the rainbow bridge, we'll see him hopefully. But anyway, so yeah, that was my little live about animal cruelty, and I did mean for it all to be fun. I'm sorry I veered off into La La Land there for a bit, but I got a little triggered when I heard about Bill getting struck. I don't think that was very cool, and people can say what they want. We don't have to like each other on here, but why do we have to keep mistreating each other? I mean, if you don't like somebody, it's real easy to just step away and do your own thing. It is real easy to do that. And if you were friends with somebody at one time, there was a time when you liked that person, even if you don't like them anymore. So why would you want to take the memories and the confidences that you shared when you were friends and shit all over that just because you don't like them anymore? That's gross. And it means that nothing is sacred. That means that if ever anybody you're friends with has a fight, I mean, if you're that kind of person, then anybody who is your friend would have to worry about you if you ever got into an argument. I mean, that's somebody ultimately you can't have any trust in, somebody who would do that to a friend of theirs. And it doesn't matter. There are people that I were friends with that did shit on me, and I still to this day have never used things that they told me when we were friends against them. There were conversations I had with Jessica when I thought we were good friends that I have never used or talked about. And Jessica, this is true. It wasn't anything that's relevant to YouTube or relevant to anything that's going on here. And, that's because at the time she was my friend, and, I wouldn't use things that she told me in confidence against her. I've never done that to anybody. And no matter what she wants to say and how she wants to imply that I did something terrible to her, she will never, ever, ever elaborate on that. And that's because it's not true. And as for her veiled threats about people standing in the wings waiting to rip me apart, most of the people that took part in the harassment that happened have apologized and admitted that what they did was wrong. And those who have not admitted to it have disappeared from YouTube and are leaving me alone. And as long as they leave me alone, I will leave them alone. Because although I may defend myself, I don't go after people to hurt them for the fun of it. Unlike some people I might mention. So, as far as your veiled threats or whatever, keep trying to scare me all you want. It doesn't help your case any. It just makes you look like a bully. And yeah, so for everybody who showed up tonight, thank you so much. Make sure to visit the like button and give her some scratches behind the ears. Just kidding. I don't care if you hit the like button or not. You can hit the dislike button if you want to. That's all right. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it a night as well. But thank you for coming and talking to me about how cruelty to animals is not cool with the K. And for tonight and tonight only, that's BKF, saying to you to remember that each one of us is a princess, an athlete, a brain, a criminal, and a basket case. Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club. Night, everybody.